wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
You're back. I love that you're back. And with,
Yay!
I mean, you didn't have all this last time you were here.
I'm so excited to be back.
That was your first competition.
Yes.
And you hadn't done it yet.
Yes.
And then you won.
Yes.
You won your first competition, your first tryout. Wow.
Yes, I know. So there was kind of 3 levels to winning this title. So my title is California's Universal Beauty. So the way that it works with this pageant system, which falls under the Our Little Miss pageant system, and they run the Universal Beauty pageant, there is a prelim that you will attend. So there was one in Fresno, and it's kind of funny. It was back in August, and I didn't have anything to do for one weekend. I was looking around, and I thought, oh, look, there's this pageant. I think I'll go, just have some fun, get some extra pageant practice. And I didn't expect to win, but I won. And that was my first time winning a pageant, and I was so excited. And so then I made it to the state competition in Visalia.
How many people did you run against in that one?
I don't remember.
There was like a lot of, it was like every city, right?
Yeah, well, people from all the areas of California that prelims were done in. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, so I made it to state. It was such a fun weekend. I met so many new people, and I won at state, which was crazy.
Insane. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Was it like runner-up and all that stuff? How does it work?
Yes, so in this pageant system, they do your queen, so California's Universal Beauty, and then the first runner-up is the princess. So princess is next in line to the crown should something happen to queen. And then after that, they will have mini queen, and then your runner-ups after that. Yes.
That is, wow. And then did you have a coach? You have someone telling you how to pose and stuff?
Yes. My coach, her name is Brandy Jo Middleton. She's amazing. She is out on the completely opposite side of the country, but we do Zoom coaching. So thank goodness for technology, because she's been so great. Yes.
But she must have been really happy and pleased that you won.
Yes, I know. She made me like a little appreciation post on her Facebook. It's been so great working with her.
Did you make friends along the way?
Yes, I did. So I made my California Queen sister friends. I met so many people, both younger and older, and it's amazing. We're like a little family. It's great. Our director, Celeste, is amazing. She adds to the family. And also, when I went to Worlds, which is where I won this crown, that was in Montgomery, Alabama, just about a week ago, I got back from Worlds.
That's so cool.
Yes. So I got to make so many more friends in my age group, in the 16 to 20 age group that I compete in. I met so many amazing girls from all over the country, even outside of the country, because they have competitors from the Cayman Islands come into Worlds too.
Oh, how fun. I remember, was that your first time in Alabama?
Yes, it was. It was so fun, and we got to walk around the streets of Montgomery when we weren't competing, and we went to the state capitol. It was a blast.
That is so exciting. And
yes.
So World, what was that competition like? Like, how many people were competing in that?
Oh my goodness, that was so many people. There was 16 in my age division, but you know, the whole pageant, there was so many people, and we were competing for about 5 days, which is a lot longer than the state competition, which was only 2 days.
So every day that's a lot to be on for that many days.
It was a lot. It was tiring, but it was so fun getting to meet all of those people. And this pageant, Our Little Miss Universal Beauty, actually does a really cool event that most pageants don't do, that's called Team OLM, or for the youngers, it's called Playtime with the Judges, where basically we all just go in our age division and we just play games together. And the judges the judges just observe us interacting with each other.
So interesting.
It is, and I think it's great because it gives a good opportunity to make a good impression for those girls who, you know, might not be so strong in their public speaking skills,
right,
or might not feel comfortable speaking on stage.
Then they can see how you really are if you're down to earth and all that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know.
So that crown is so beautiful.
Thank you.
These are such beautiful crowns.
Yes,
so where are you to put all this?
I am still figuring that out. But
gotta make some shelf space.
Yes, so this is for the World's Mini Queen title. So like I'd mentioned, there's Mini Queen, then it goes up to Princess, and it goes up to your World's Universal Beauty. So I hope to collect more crowns in the future, hopefully that big World's Universal Beauty crown. That would be really fun.
Well, what's the next step after this typically? Like, do you have someone saying, oh, now you should go for this one, now you should go for this one? Who guides you on all that?
Yeah, so I work with, myself, my coach, my state director, and I know there will be another world competition in July. But right now, what we're looking at in the future is starting our next set of prelims for our official season. So there's beauty season, which happens more in the fall, and there's official season, which happens in the spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to bring in a whole new group of girls through prelims here in Fresno and all around the state in the next couple of months.
So what's the biggest ones? And do you get to do those too? Do they encourage you to do all of them, or how does it work? I'm sure you have to pick some, and you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, the biggest the prelims?
What you're going for. Is there I know there's Miss America. Do you go in that, or is that a completely different?
They're
scope?
different systems.
So you don't want to do anything in that realm.
Well, not right now. While I have this title, I'd definitely be open to new systems in the future. That would be really fun.
Do you have them? Because these might sound like dumb questions, but I have no idea how this works. I find it so fascinating. But
thank you.
Who coaches and guides you to say, yeah, now you're going to change to a different system. Now you're going to go to this or that. Do you have an agent?
No, that is decisions that I make on my own.
Does anybody have agents in there, or is that not how it really works?
Not really. No, usually you'll work with yourself and just your coach. Your coach might guide you a little bit on where to go.
So the coaches are the ones to do that?
Yeah. But for me, I mostly make the decision of where I want to compete next.
And what do you base your decisions on?
I like to look for pageant systems that have diverse winners. If I'm seeing these systems and all the winners look like different ages of the same girl, that's not really something that I want to be a part of.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like systems that have winners from different backgrounds of life, from different places, and I feel like that makes it a lot more interesting of a competition, and I like to meet different people who are
You don't want
different
to be
than
just
me.
a statue and
Exactly, yes.
just a regular.
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And then what are the perks? What do you win besides the crown?
Well, it depends on the system again, but in some systems you can win scholarships. Our Little Miss that I've competed in is a scholarship pageant, and so you can win, if you win at Worlds, you will win a cash scholarship. That's super cool. And there's other things you can win too, because businesses will sponsor pageants, and so they might offer, a free beauty treatment or a free styling session or something like that to the winners of the pageant.
And then it looks great on a resume.
Yes.
For when you go to universities or whatever. So the scholarship, is it just to go to college, or is it just kind of cash for doing something learning-wise?
It depends on the system. So
Okay.
some systems are more strict of, you need to spend this at a college or university, and then others will allow you to have a little bit more leeway.
That's cool. And
Thank you.
The next one you're doing is the beauty, or the season. What'd you call it?
The official season.
The official
Yes.
season.
Yes.
Okay, and so that's going to be in May?
We will be starting prelims probably around March, and then we will have our state competition maybe in, the spring, summer months. Yeah, and we'll be bringing in a whole new group of girls, and then after that, when we get back to the fall season, beauty season, that's when I would be giving up my title to the next girl to win California's Universal Beauty.
So you get to have
16
it for a
20.
year, basically, the title.
Yes, it's for a year.
That is really cool. And
Thank
then
you.
this one, you did this a year ago, right? The first crown that you won. How long ago was that?
See. Well, the Fresno crown, that was in August, and then this crown was in October.
So,
Yes.
and then this was last week.
This was last week.
So
yeah.
this is just boom, boom. But I
Yes.
guess it gives you a little bit of time to catch your breath.
Yeah, it does.
But that
yeah.
is really quick.
It's quick, but yeah, it was a lot of preparation, working with my coach, just trying to get these routines nailed down as soon as we could. But it worked, and it was great. And I won lots of side awards, like I won the best evening gown at Worlds, and I won the best sportswear personality at Worlds. I won awards for Pro-Am modeling, which is what we call it when you go out and you basically strut your stuff. You're not just walking nicely for the judges. You're showing off a little bit more of your personality with Pro-Am modeling. Yeah.
And then do you have a stylist who tells you what to wear?
I choose most of my outfits with help from my state director, Celeste.
Do
She
most of the girls
approves
do
things.
that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because I was like, it just seems like somebody needs a guide. I wouldn't know the first thing about what to...
No, it takes time to learn what sort of things you want to style yourself in and what colors you look good in.
Do you buy a few things and then you try a few things out because of one? Because you'll get there and you'll be like, oh gosh, this isn't the time for this one.
Yes, I try things on, definitely.
Because then, so you take up several gowns when you're going.
Yeah, well, usually I'll go on a, shopping Saturday with my mom. We'll just try on a bunch of gowns and send
You'll
pictures
take a backup
to director.
to every time you go to these things.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool. And then, are you going to go, what's after this? Are you going to go to college and kind of utilize any of
No, well, I mean, I've graduated from college.
That's
actually,
what I'm saying. That's what I thought. I thought you were
Yeah.
so I'm like, what's the next there?
I mean, maybe grad school. That's always an option.
Right.
Grad school would be fun because I loved college, so I would like to go back
That's
to
what I
grad
was
school
thinking.
at some point.
Do you still work at the same entertainment group that you worked for before?
No, I'm actually freelancing right now. I'm using my marketing degree, and I started my own marketing agency.
Wow. Okay. So
Yes.
who do you help market?
Anyone, basically. Right now, I have clients in several different industries. I'm working with a private school out in Sanger right now. That's one of my clients. I'm working with a set of travel bloggers, another client. So really, my clients are very diverse.
And is it all like internet marketing? What are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, so I specialize in social media marketing and search engine marketing. So that means promoting brands on their social media pages, maybe running paid ads on social media, depending on what their goals are. And then for search engine marketing, that means that I am helping these businesses to come up in Google when somebody types in the service that they're looking for that business provides.
So you can have clients everywhere. They don't have to be just local.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm so glad you're doing that. Yeah, so if you got a master's, you're like, you have so much going on. I'm like, why?
Oh, thank you so much. No, I love freelancing. I love entrepreneurship. It, kind of excites something in me, building something that is my own for my work.
And then now, like, if this isn't enough, you decided to add another layer, and now you're acting in a horror movie. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I'm acting in a short film. Later this month we'll be shooting. It's called Cora Corda, and it's directed by local director Cameron Caves. He is so amazing, and I can't wait to share more about, what exactly happens in the film. But one thing I do want to share is that I thought it was so cool that he decided he wanted to use my real heartbeat during the film. So that's
a first. I've never heard that.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was so different. So when you told me that, at first I was kind of like, huh? But yeah, so I came into a studio and he put the mic right up here, and then everyone just was quiet, and we just let my heartbeat get recorded. And and I heard it. I actually got to hear the recording a couple days ago during a costume fitting, and it was so cool. I didn't know I sounded like that. Yeah.
That was really the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
Thank you. I know.
And I've heard that they, obviously we've seen movies like that where they use a heart, and you just think it's random. That's funny. They're like, no, they used mine.
I know. Yeah. So he's going for experimental editing on this film, and so one of the things he wanted to use for that was my real heartbeat. So that was so fun and a first for me.
Do you get to show some range in this character, or are you playing yourself?
I'd say she has elements of myself. My character's name is Louisa, and she, maybe starts off the film very timid. And I feel like I have a little bit of that inside of me, worrying about doing things that are, seen as not perfect, innocent, good. And so I think I pull from that for my character, but also there's elements of her that I haven't experienced, but that's where the acting comes in. That's why I train, so I can learn how to create these characters that, don't have the same life as me.
How are we going to get to see this film when it comes out? Are you guys going to have any type of premiere for it?
I'm not sure yet exactly what the details are, but yeah.
I'd love to see that. So short film, I know I can range from everything. Is it like 10-minute short film or like a 30-minute short film? Do you know that?
I'm
or
not even
really?
Sure.
How many pages was the script?
I don't know enough.
Yeah, because short film is yours.
Thin, not super thick.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, yeah.
How many characters people are in the movie? Is it a large cast or very small?
It's a pretty small cast, yeah. And it stayed small. It was actually cut down from a feature-length script into a short film script.
Oh, so it probably is a longer short. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we have going on right now.
So if it does well, it might become a feature.
Yes. That's
Oh,
the hope.
I love that.
That's the goal. Yes.
I can't wait to see it. Like what you told me about it already sounds really interesting.
Thank you. I'm so excited to film. We're filming in a couple of weeks, and we get to do some night shoots. And night shoots are always fun because you're a little bit delirious while you're shooting, but you know, it's great bonding with your castmates, definitely.
Well, and you've done some acting before. Tell our
Yes.
viewers about that.
Yes, so I've been acting for, let's see, 7 years now. Yeah, I started when I was 13 and now I'm 20. So 7 years. I started doing, just commercials locally, and I've still done local work, commercials. I've done short films. One time I became a character in a live action video game. That was super cool and different.
Oh my gosh, what game is that?
I don't even know. I never heard anything about it afterward.
Oh man,
That's how I know. That's how acting is. Sometimes you just don't hear back. Yeah, I know. You know.
Yeah,
you know how the industry is.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But I would love to see that. I'd give anything
I would
to see
too,
that.
honestly. I know. That was, I don't know, I was probably like 15 at that time, so who knows what became of it, but.
Wow. And so are you writing or creating any of your original content? Because it seems like you have the experience and you can do that.
Thank you. I mean, I love writing, and I have been drafting some things, so we'll see if my ideas could turn into something bigger eventually. That would be really fun, but yeah.
So if we want to hire you to help us with marketing and everything, where do we go?
Yes, you can contact me at taylor@taylorquintanar.com. It's a hard spelling, so it's Taylor, Taylor. Quintanar is spelled Quintanar.com.
And then you'll tell us, like, you can help us out. Is there any
Yes.
businesses you could tell us offhand that you've helped, any businesses that we know of that you're marketing for?
Yeah, well, the school that I'm working with is King's Corner School in Sanger. It is a private school, and they have a lot of people waiting to get in because they have very small class sizes. That's what they're known for. And they also are known for offering discounted tuition for the kids of Kings River packing employees out there in Sanger. And so it's been really great and really fulfilling to work with them.
So when they're at capacity, why are they marketing? Why do they want more people when they already have a waiting list?
Because they're launching their high school program now. So they've usually been K through 8th, but now they're accepting 9th graders. So they're trying to get the word out about that.
And I'm glad that you say that because that is a really specific thing. So then you really have to know, hey, we're going just for this audience. It's not something that you're telling everybody that doesn't have it.
It's very broad.
That's really cool. So you really do it all. I love that.
Thank you.
So we got to go check you out. And then, everyone needs somebody helping with marketing. I mean, I'm going to definitely refer people to you. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What's your Instagram so we could follow you and see about your crowns?
Yes, my Instagram is @Taylor Quintanar. Again, TaylorQuintanar.
You'll keep us posted about the movie and everything you're doing,
Yes, I
right?
will. Yes.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you so much, Sparkle.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You're so talented. Tell our viewers about what you do.
So my main background, I've been doing graphic design for over 15 years. I started when I was 13 years old.
Really?
Everything that I've done was self-taught. And then I've always had like a love for fashion. My mom, she was a designer, and my grandparents were too. So I kind of like funneled through.
It ran in the family?
Yeah,
That's
it was
really
in the
cool.
blood. So yeah, I've been doing that. And then I started Cordova back in 2020. So right when the midst of the pandemic happened.
Is that why?
I knew it was something that I've always wanted to do, and it was kind of like, okay, it's time to make it happen now. It's just funny how everything kind of happened that way. But when I started in 2020, I started online, and I had a manufacturer overseas that was actually making the clothes for me. So it was just more or less designing and all that. So when I officially opened online, we had went on lockdown. So when we went on lockdown, there was like a kind of a halt with logistics and stuff like that. So people weren't getting their stuff till like 2 to 3 months later. And when all that happened, I was like, okay, like, you know, this is really time to really push to like do it myself. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to sew. I'm gonna get all the equipment and do all that. So there's this local place here called A&A Textiles. That's a place where I get all my fabrics for my clothes.
Oh, I've actually been there. Okay.
So it's super awesome. It's like, I'm like a kid in a candy store when I go there. But they had like a posting like for sewing lessons, and I was like, oh, like I'm interested in that. And that's how I met who I call my mentor, Geraldine. She taught me everything. She's so awesome. So, but yeah, so since then till now, it's been really progressing and growing. So.
Wow, that is so cool. And so right now people can get your stuff online.
Mm-hmm. So I actually do have a physical storefront here in downtown on M Street. So I share that space with my other friend. She's a designer too, Miss Lemon, Andrea.
Okay.
So we both co-op. We're technically like 2 stores in one, in a sense.
So what's the difference of your stuff versus her stuff?
Mine, I would say, is a little bit more streetwear, kind of like the graphics and very like special effects, like the hat. It actually glows in the dark.
I love
So
that.
all those kind of like cool little like, okay, like what else, how can I make it like unique, you know, something different than what you would see like in a traditional store. So that's where I'm at. I do have it online, and we've been doing art hop shows. Like every art hop we do like a fashion show. But now we're moving it to Vibes in Tower. So my next show that's coming up is going to be February 8th at Vibes.
Oh, how
So
fun.
I'm super excited for that. It's been a really good turnout.
So people can like drink and watch everything
They can
at the same
drink, they
time.
can eat, and then, you know, as the models come, people will be like, oh, like I really like that one. I'm like, yeah, well, I can remake it for you according to your size. So it's kind of more of like a custom couture kind of fit.
That is so cool. Okay, so when's the date again?
February 8th
At
at Vibes in Tower
so what's the time though that starts?
at 8:30.
So it's at nighttime.
Yeah, in the evening.
That's really, really cool. And so do you have stuff like that often where you have like a little fashion show?
So when we did the art hops, it was like every month. So it was like kind of an endurance because it was making new pieces like around 10 to 12 every month.
And you really were every time? No.
Yeah. So for the past years, that's what I've been doing. And I was like, okay.
How do you do that? That's.
I mean, I love it. I know people are like, dude, like, do you rest? Like, what's going on? But
I can't
I
even
just
imagine.
love it.
Okay.
So it's really fun. And then, you know, meeting all the models and the photographers and networking with everyone. It's just opened so many doors for not only myself, but for them as well.
And so now there's not really art hop like there was, so.
I think everyone kind of gets that confused. It's
yeah.
still going on, but I know like when July came, I know it was like super hot. So they kind of were just like, we're going to put a pause on that. And people still think like, oh, our hop's gone. I'm like, they just pause at that time because of the heat.
Oh, so now it's back on.
Yeah.
But you're just you're not as involved.
We still have the store open during art hop. That's kind of like the peak when everyone
But
comes
you don't
in.
have to put in all the like models and new pieces and all that.
Not as much anymore because every month was it was a lot.
I can only imagine. Oh my goodness. And so when you initially started this in 2020, were you selling it online right away, or how'd you get the word out?
So just word of mouth, friends and family, the support. That's how it initially
Started
started.
small and then it
started
became.
small and then it progressed. Like it was like my little baby, kind of just watching it grow up and kind of progress to like what it is today.
What were you even doing before that?
Just graphic design.
So yeah, I just went from that to now it's like, hey, now you have a product.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, like I gotta keep up the pace with you know, this little idea blew up into something that's what it is today.
But you still do graphic design, though. You still
Yeah.
have your clients that you take care of, but now you get to do all your passion as
Yeah,
well.
I'll be like, oh, if you want fashion or if you want clothes for your business, like I could do that too.
Oh my goodness. So did it always start with all apparel, or was it really just hats at first?
Mostly apparel. My high emphasis when I first started was the graphic tees. So like sweaters like this, or you know, just the kind of simple basis stuff. People have asked me like, what are you gonna like, you know, build a team, or you know, what's the next big move? I'm slowly building it. I have my sister, she's like my brand advisor, and then our mutual friend, she's kind of like my assistant. So she'll help with the shows, she'll help with the art hops and things like that. But when it comes to actually going back to having someone manufacture the clothes, I think I'm just still trying to wave the right person. Just because I don't want to just give it to anyone that's not going to have the same love and attention and detail to a piece that I do.
Wow. Do you have any help at all currently?
Just Marissa for art hop days.
So when the store's open, it's always you.
Yeah. So we're usually open in the evening because I do my day stuff with the graphic design, and then I go there from like 6 to 9 in the evening every day.
Well, what about the person that you co-op with? Does she help when you're not there, or it's not?
We kind of like go back and forth. Like if
That's
I'm
good.
not there, she's over there covering. You know, she's an amazing friend, how I met her. And we've been partnered up for about 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. And she's been like my buddy. She's been so good.
Do you get requests now at this stage in the game?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, okay, like, are you open to commissions and this and that? And I'm like, yeah, you know, just you come in, we'll book a fitting, and then just kind of tell me what you're wanting, what kind of materials, and we'll kind of go from that. So now with kind of like slowing down the art hop shows and kind of focusing more time on that, I have more time to make stuff for like commissions. Like I do a lot of stuff for drag queens here. Halloween, I get really busy with the
I
costumes.
can only imagine. Wow.
Yeah, so, but it's been pretty good.
And they were kind of connected to the dance world over there. So I hear they have like amazing costumes. Have you
Oh,
gotten
yeah.
into doing any of that or not really?
I've done a few alterations for like Diana, but I'm kind of going with different flow of like things. But I'm totally up for that. So like if they ever wanted some like ballroom stuff, I could totally do that too.
Wow, that's all over the map. And then I love how it's both men and women. You have you dress everybody.
Yeah, so the range is very diverse.
Have you done any stuff for the kids?
I do have some stuff for the kids, like a lot of the graphic tees and hats too.
I bet they love the glow in the dark
Yeah.
stuff. I get excited about
When I
it.
tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, that also glows in the dark. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. So all of it has like kind of like a special effects piece to it.
So what do you think about the Fresno fashion community? We've been lucky to have a few of you guys here that are awesome. And then it's like, I feel like it's growing. How do you feel?
I definitely feel like it is growing. The community here is very, very welcoming and opening. You know, there's a lot of like great names that have came from here. And it's just like, it's all loving, it's all open, it's like no judgment. Everyone like helps each other out, or like, you know.
It's not competitive.
No, I don't see it as anything competitive. I see it more as like, you know, we're only building each other up, you know?
Right.
Because everyone has like their own unique kind of style. Like Andrea, she does very like evening gowns, like party kind of stuff. Our other friend Fastened by Lynn, she does very like, kind of like the Game of Thrones kind of like look of
Wow.
things. She's very talented too. House in Francisco, he's really talented. There's just a lot of talent here in Fresno.
As since you do sell online, are you getting a lot of interest from people outside of the Valley as well?
Yeah, I've had some people from New York. I had some people from Mexico. So it's kind of like branched out. So it's just like, it's a lot.
How do they find out about you? I'm always fascinated about this.
Honestly, just word of mouth, and then kind of just promoting and marketing and kind of just keeping up like a consistent algorithm on social media.
And then since, you know, you are doing all of this by hand, spending hours and hours and making everything detailed, how are people keeping up with paying for the price that you want? Because I know that can be hard to place like Fresno.
Yeah, I mean, because like when you think of like other big chain realtors like Sheen and all that, you know, I work with people, you know, if they need like a payment plan. On my online store, it does offer a payment plan. But every piece, it just varies, really. But I always like to work with people. I give them, you know, the benefit of the doubt.
So what's the craziest thing that you've been asked to do as far as like someone has something coming up and they've given you like a crazy time demand of something bizarre?
Well, I know the drag costumes are pretty like flashy and out there.
Do they usually give you notice though? There have been something that came with you with a weird request that I need this by this time and you're like, what?
Yeah. Well, the one that really worked out and how I met Diana was our friend Adame. He did the cabaret kind of show and he asked me, he actually came to one of the fashion shows. One of my models was his friend, that's why I met him, and he was just like, oh, like, you know, I'm doing this big production, like, you know, the person that I had, like, something happened, like, are you interested? And I had just completed the October Art Hop show, and then I was like, yeah, sure, like, you know, I'm down
all
for
the
it.
Halloween stuff too, you finished all that, and then you're like, oh man.
This was in the beginning of October, and I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, well, how soon do you need me? He's like, the show's like in like 2.5 weeks. And I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do.
How much did you have to create for that?
So thankfully it was more of like upcycling pieces. So it was kind of like an existing piece, throwing some bling on it and this and that. So, cause yeah, when I was just like, okay, that's a little bit kind of a tight deadline. But it worked out, you know, it was really good. I really pushed through it. You know, I met a lot of awesome people from that. That's how I met Diana. She's a sweetheart. So, I mean, it's kind of like when you're given the opportunity in that moment, you kind of just have to just take it. I mean, even if you're tired, you just got to do it. It all pays off in the end.
And then, do some people come from out of state, and then they're coming to these shows?
Mm-hmm.
How have you met some cool people from that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of photographers for sure. So I met a lot of photographers locally, LA, San Francisco. You know, models. Like a lot of times, you know, when I'm posting something of upcoming show, people will be like, oh, like I'm interested in modeling and this and that. And they have like kind of like a high like clientele of like model experience too. So it's just like, I don't even really have to like look. They kind of just ask and come of just from seeing the stuff that I do. So it's pretty cool.
And what about stores from other places, like people that are buyers for other, like buyers for H&M, buyers from different things? Have you talked to any buyers from other places?
Not necessarily. I haven't been at that point yet, but I mean, if it comes to that, and you know,
then you're definitely gonna have to hire some more people.
Yeah, that's when I'm gonna have to get for sure a team. But when that day comes, you know, opportunity knocks, you know, I'll take it.
So what's the average price for like a sweater like what you're wearing?
So this one is about like 35.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so like with the graphic tees and stuff like that, it's fairly reasonable. Hats are like $20. It's just like when it's the dresses are more custom pieces, like with measurements, that's when it's like, okay, you know, you're picking up the material, you know, the labor, the cost of the fabric and all that has to kind of like factor in to make it kind of worth it. So, but yeah, that, and then, yeah.
What's the next event that you have going on after Vibes?
So after that one, I'm gonna participate in the Madera High School show again. This will be my third time. They came to the Central Valley Fashion Week that Andrea kind of curates. And they're just like, you know, we'd love to have you back. So it's so cool that they do this in Madera. It's like a fashion club. So like anybody that's,
wow.
Yeah, anybody that's interested like in the high school with fashion, they do like an annual show. The first one was great, second one was awesome. So they asked me like, can you come? I'm like, yeah, like let me just check my schedule.
So what do you do in that?
So they kind of just do it based on theme. So like last year was Metamorphosis. So like kind of like an evolve like that. And I was like, okay, like I grasped like butterflies and all that. So like a lot of the pieces were like holographic, reflective, lots of blue tones and like a bunch of butterflies too. So it was really cool. So this one is going to be the 4 elements. So that's going to be kind of an exciting...
fire and all kinds of cool stuff.
So that's like my next thing to tackle after.
And anyone can attend that as well? Or it's,
Yeah, it's open to everyone.
So when's that going to take place?
That's going to take place in the middle of April. I think they're still working on the date.
And then you are going to have another event, like you are going to have at Vibes, another event coming up in the future, right? Are you trying to do that quarterly?
So I've been kind of spreading them out like 2 to 3 months instead of every month.
So about quarterly?
Yeah, because every month I was just like, man, I was like totally...
That is way crazy. I would definitely want to go. Are you good at keeping us updated on your social media about these events?
Oh yeah, I usually post, and then like the models, they're so awesome. They'll post and repost. So it kind of just gets around like that. Word of mouth is definitely what's been the best for me.
So what is your Instagram?
It is Cordova.co with a K. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, and then the website is Cordova.co.
And that's where we can actually purchase a lot of the pieces on the website.
So that's where you can see the pieces online. So
and then you can order them and ship them anywhere, right? So I could order some stuff and ship it to, okay.
So yeah, I could do it internationally. Like if you're not local, you know, I can ship it that way too.
Makes great gifts.
Yeah, so definitely.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today. It was so good to meet you. I can't wait to come in the storefront and then also like come to one of these fashion shows. Yes. That'll be fun.
Yeah, they're so fun, and it's awesome afterwards to just network and meet everyone and see the models and the clothes. So it's super exciting.
Awesome. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much too. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Hello.
I've been wanting to have you on for a while, and so I know you're always doing really cool things, like with your health and wellness business, and you guys have little competitions. Tell me how you got started in that.
Well, how I got started, it was like in 22, I think, and it was COVID had hit. I lost my little cousin. I was going through like a very bad depression, and me and my husband were going through it. I had just got off of opiates. I'd been on them for 20 years.
Well, you have a crazy story. Tell us how that happened.
Okay, so
I know we'll circle back on the health and wellness.
No, I'm reading the Mariah Carey book, and she's like that too. She just goes all over, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm normal. But yeah, okay, so. In 2005, I was at Bass Lake, and then on the way home, I was coming home, and we went off the ravine, the side of the road, and like, this is all stories, but I guess when I fell, every time the car hit, it hit on my side. So it was like small, you know, so I crushed my pelvis. I was pregnant at the time. I lost my baby, Jacob, and then I was in a coma for 6 weeks, and then when I woke up, I couldn't even hold my head up. Like, I was just like, and so I had to learn how to walk, talk, eat again. I remember they had me on like thickened liquids because I couldn't even swallow. Like, it was... Were
you by yourself, or was you a passenger?
No, it was me and a driver.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, and I guess, yeah.
So what happened to the driver?
Nothing. I think he had like a little something on his
So it
head.
all took on your side. Yeah, your side was a bad side.
Every time it hit the rock, it hit my side. So, and like, it was rough. And it was like my patience, like I remember even now my grandma would be like, Adreanna, be patient with yourself, and because it's just like to be able to, you know, get up and just go, or, you know, hold your head up or eat a piece of food, like when that happened, I really realized what they mean, like, you take so much for granted, and
right,
and yeah, and even now it's like, you know, I don't feel like doing something that's like, so when I go to the gym and stuff, you know, I like to put on my AirPods and listen to prayers, worship music. I feel like that's me giving thanks to God and my gratitude for allowing me to be able to walk again and be able to talk
That's
again.
motivating. Wow.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to relearn all those things?
Probably about a year. I honestly, like, I still don't think I'm like 100. I don't think I'll ever be 100.
Yeah, you're not going to be the same, but I mean, to actually have to learn to walk and talk, and that's huge. And you're doing great, so.
No, but because I had a walker too, and then I remember my my uncle's wife, she's a physical therapist, and so I would go to her too, and she was like, check this walker. So I was like, all right, so I just checked it, and I don't know if that was good or bad, but it was good to me. I was able to walk and be normal.
That's impressive. So then, in all that recovery, you got into opioids. I think that happens quite often when you're in an accident like that. And then, so how'd you get off of that?
The opiates, I started reading stuff, and like, my husband would say little stuff to me. Of course, it would irritate me, but I started, reading stuff, and I was just like, that's not, let me quit lying. What happened was, I was medically retired. See, I worked for the county for like 10 years.
Oh, and after that happened,
even after the accident, I went back to work.
You did?
Full time, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I went back full time, and that's when because I used to take the opiates at first.
Oh, so to get over, to be able to work a full 8-hour day. Okay, that makes sense.
I would just be popping pills. I
mean, you gotta work.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand that. That makes sense.
So, like, I just, like, after that, and then I got medically retired, and I just started thinking, because that addiction like that runs in my family. And so I just thought to myself, like, I don't want to be the housewife or whatever at home popping pills, or like, you hear Eminem's song where he's like witnessing your mom popping prescription pills in the, you know what I'm talking about? Yes. In the kitchen, yeah. So I
You're
thought,
like, I don't want to be like that. Let's get off of it.
Yeah, I got off, and the way I got off too is I would take edibles, and edibles to help me over the pooping and just the shivers, and it's horrible. It's hard. And then it's just so normalized to take pills. Like, it's just so normal. Like, I didn't even realize I was addicted. And even now, I still feel like I'm coming to the terms that, oh my gosh, you were an addict. Like, oh my gosh. Like,
the fog is lifted.
Yeah, it's like, it's
clarity.
hard to accept. Just like it's hard to accept when someone calls me ma'am.
I hear you on that one.
I'm just like, what? Take my earrings off.
So then now back to 2022, COVID had lifted. You got in a different funk and a depression over your...
Oh, okay. And then COVID hit. My little cousin, she's 30, but I'm 40. So, like, she was my baby, and I seen her be born, and I changed her diapers, and I will never forget. No, because she had caught COVID. They went to Florida. This was before the lockdown and all that. They went to Florida. She got COVID. Me, my aunt, and my mom, we text every morning. Every morning. So she was like, hey, you guys don't come over, Nene and Antonio have COVID or whatever. And I was like, oh, shoot, well, I better go get my shot, like making a joke about it. Never in a million years did I think it would take her. And then, like, the morning she called, my aunt, I think she, of course, obviously was in shock, but she had told me so nonchalantly, like, oh, Simone passed away this morning. And my reaction was, you're lying, but no. And my kids were really close to her. She'd come over, make Christmas gingerbread houses and cookies, and it was just a big hit, and my kids were sad, and it was just hard for me. So I just went through like a depression. I was just in bed and just,
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a similar story to that. So
COVID was rough. It was rough. And and so I seen a friend that I would follow on Instagram and stuff. Well, the funny thing is, I thought I knew her. The whole time, I thought I had already known her. So, I'm talking to her, whatever, and then I'm like, she's had like a job opening or whatever. And so I'm like, I message her and I'm like, okay, what is it? And when she tells me, oh, it's health and wellness, selling to people, my initial reaction was, wah, wah, wah.
That's usually mine too.
I don't want to do that.
I hear you.
I didn't. I don't know. The Holy Spirit, I wasn't even like, I was barely coming to know him again. I knew him when I was little and I just lost my way. But I felt like he was just, so
calling
I just,
you home.
Yeah. So I just did it, and it's a Christian-based company. We go to conference, we're praising, they have concerts. Christian.
So what do they do? You said it's health and wellness.
Yeah,
What's
so
the
like
program?
coffee, but they're having 30-day drop right now. They have coffee gummies. That's my thing, is the coffee, the gummies. They have the wraps, so when it's hot, you want to show your little belly. Wrap up, it works instantly. The flat works instantly. That's my problem, is my belly, so, and then just do that. The coffee is everything, and that's what I think, because even when I signed up, like I was like, what am I gonna do? I've never really like struggled with health, and I never really struggled with the weight gain, with being heavy. So I was like, well, what am I going to do?
Except during COVID, when we all packed down a little bit.
But even then, I think like I was so depressed. I was just like,
Oh, you weren't eating?
no,
Aww.
yeah, it's crazy. And so this box comes that I ordered, my business building kit, and I don't know a lot about it, but I do know coffee because, let's go back to when I was little. My grandma, she used to always take me to my great grandma's house, her mom's house, and we would sit there and have coffee. And so I tell her now, I'm like, Grandma, I was a little girl and you gave me coffee. She's like, ay, con puro leche. So like she just put a lot of coffee with a little bit of coffee with a lot of milk. And so I would drink it, and I remember like my great grandma would be like, pinky up. So I've just always loved coffee.
Yeah, I guess we had the same grandma.
Oh, your grandma was like that too. She would tell you the pinky up.
And just put a lot of sugar in it. That's so funny.
Yeah, she was like a lot of milk or whatever. But yeah, so I tried the coffee, and like it motivated me. I started getting out of bed. I started like being more active.
So what's the name of these products?
Skinny Brew. I'm sorry.
Skinny Brew.
I just assumed,
sorry, no, wait. Our viewers don't know. We just jumped ahead a little bit, like Skinny Brew. So Skinny Brew. So through Skinny Brew, you can also get the wraps.
Skinny Brew. Yeah, the Skinny Brew. You get the wrap.
And gummies. It's a Christian-based company that gives gummies.
Yeah, not those kind of gummies. I got you on those.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not those kind of gummies. They melt away the fat, and like clinically proven
Really?
to take in the circumference.
I'd love to try that.
Yeah, you got to. It really works, and not only that.
And the coffee's also a weight loss coffee as well?
Yeah, burns fat. Yeah, and then that's another thing. Okay, so I started taking the products and stuff. Well, I've been chronically constipated. Sorry, if it's TMI, but like my whole life, even when I was getting off the opiates. Like,
oh, I bet, especially I've heard that causes that opiate, so that makes sense.
And so it's just and then my whole life I've been. So even after I stopped taking them, like I wouldn't go. So they have like the super greens and the flat.
I have a lot of clients that have that problem, so this is great to know something.
And
we have a
the coffee, the Skinny Brew, yes, that is the solution. If you.
Sorry to my clients, that's TMI, but no one knows which ones.
We don't know, but and I started taking that, and like I feel so much better. Really, like I have it's
like cleansing. I like that.
Yeah, we have a cleanse. And I even make it real like, I pooped today, because you don't even know unless you have been chronic.
The struggle is real, yeah.
It is real. And then you don't even realize how crappy you feel until the crap is out here.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, I love colonics, so I think it's great to know there's something that you can do that's like cleansing. So what's the cleansing that you have?
It's just the super greens that gets your gut health right.
Nice.
You get all the probiotics and stuff you need to digest, and because even to the point like I've drank coffee all my life, and coffee wouldn't even help me go anymore. But Skinny Poo did.
That is really cool. Okay, so because now it's the new year, everyone's trying to get skinny, healthy, whatever. How do we get products from you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Pacini. And
Very easy name.
Yes,
Pacini.
Pacini. Ricini. Just
So on both Instagram and Facebook, and then we can just...
and TikTok. But,
nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I haven't quite hit it with TikTok. Like, I don't check it. I don't know. Like I should. I've been shopping on there, so I'm trying to stay away from there. But Instagram, Facebook, yes, you can most definitely.
And then we could just get little packets here and there, like little packages, or we have to subscribe for like a month. How does it work? We could just get products one at a time?
You can get products without subscribing. It's just, of course, it'll be discounted if
The
you
coffee,
get the
is it instant
subscription.
coffee or is it like K-Cups?
Yes, it's instant
coffee. Okay.
And you just tear it, pour it in the water, stir it up, and...
I love it. That sounds like a great pre-workout because I don't like all those heavy supplements with a lot of stuff on it. So I'd love to try that.
There's also the TFX, and see, I'm not like the pills. I think because of the opiates, I don't really like to take them.
Yeah, try to stay away from it. I get it.
I'll take them in the morning, and I feel like it makes me. It does. It makes me sweat, and it's a fat burner. So I think that's a good.
I would love to try all of these products.
Yeah, and then for that, I used to take in the morning. I will take the hydrate with the TFX.
I need some of that too. I need a lot.
Yes.
So, when did you start to see kind of results? When you started doing this for like a month, did you start to like lose weight? But you said you didn't really need to lose weight.
I didn't really need to. So for me, it was with my going to the restroom, my mood,
and getting that energy, getting a little boost.
Yeah, and just happy, and I was always just so mad. It seemed like after all that.
Yeah.
And I just feel like
that was the little jolt you needed.
Mm-hmm. And with the welcoming of Christ and with them reintroducing me, it's really, really has touched my life. And like, I don't know if I said I just came off the 21 days of prayer and fasting.
Well, congratulations. I know that's rough.
Yeah. So I did, and I just feel like as I had said, I had started taking edibles to offset the opiates, and then I started taking it for the pain because I do have pain. But during the 21 days of prayer and fasting, if that's what I wanted to do, I just go in my little prayer closet I made one. It doesn't have to be all fancy. I just put my step stool. Like, you ever took a step class?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, well, I stopped taking that class, but so now I just put it in there. I have little prayer requests, so when I see people, they tell me about something, I'll think about them and I'll write it down. So I go in there and I pray. And so when I wanted to smoke or eat edibles, I would go in there and pray. And
that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, and I feel, but you know what, it's like amazing. I just feel like he spoke to me and like God is guiding me. And even like this interview, I mean, you've reached out to me a few times, and I'm like,
you've had this amazing life. I mean, just like all the different things you've gone through. It's like living a lot of lifetimes in one. And now you're a travel agent. Tell us about that.
Oh, I love that. So that's a whole nother thing. Okay, so my daughter, not anymore. She thinks she's too grown for it, but she watched A for Adley. So on A for Adley, they went on a Disney cruise. And she was like, oh, Mommy, I want to go on a Disney cruise, this and that. She's my baby. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, how? Because I don't have Disney cruise money. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So then she goes even further at preschool. She writes like a little vision board. She's little. She doesn't even realize it was a vision board. She does now, I tell her.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Disneyland. She draws like a slide, a chocolate slide, and this and that. And I'm like, oh my, this little girl. So I'm like, I start adding like a day, and I start looking up how much it is, and I'm praying, and I'm like, okay. Then God's like, start a travel business. So that's what I did. And so I started a travel business, and I got blessed with the money by the grace of God. I just got blessed with the money. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And luckily I was in that travel business, so it didn't allow me to take my mind off of the goal of, going to the Disney cruise. I know it may sound silly.
So where do people go when you are a travel agent now? So you can help people travel anywhere?
Yes.
All over the country or outside of the country and all that?
So we went, sorry, that was really about me starting it. But yeah, so I just enjoyed it so much. I love planning people's trips. I love that. I love them calling me and, this and that, or sending me pictures of where they went. Yes, I have a website, Adreanna Pacini at IntelliTravel.com.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I have some cards that I will leave here.
I love it. So we can either travel or get skinny. We have a lot of options.
No, and then say you want to go on a bridal party, travel for.
Oh, so you do groups.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Oh, yes, that's like the funnest.
So is that what you do when you get people skinny after they take the coffee and everything? Then you're like, now you got to go to the, you got to go on a bikini vacation.
Or if you want to go to the cruise, because for me too, going to the gym, that was another motivator. Okay, I'm going on this cruise. I'm going on this cruise.
That is a motivator, so you can still look cute and babysit.
And then after that, after I came back from the cruise, see, I didn't know. I don't have a spleen. I guess you're supposed to get shots, like vaccinations, before you go overseas. I didn't know that. I come back, everybody gets sick. I am like deathly ill. I'm like, I have to go to the doctor. I don't like to go to the doctor. So I'm just like, I have to go. The kids are going to start school. I'm sick. I have to be better. So I go, sure enough, they give me antibiotics, breathing treatment, whatever, a shot in my butt. Then, a few months later in November, I get sick again. And I have to go, and so I'm just like, that's enough. So I'm like, okay. I thought on the cruise, all that, I got really out of boundaries, like you have these boundaries that you set for yourself, for your health and things like that. I just was throwing caution to the wind, stopped taking my products. Hey, I was on a cruise and then I got back and I'm sick. So then I stopped going to the gym because I'm sick.
Do you help your clients with that when you're booking them and say, hey, make sure you get your shots since you've had that experience?
No, but maybe I should. Well, I don't think I think it's because I'm compromised because I don't have a spleen.
Oh, that could be. That could be
no,
too.
That's exactly what it is. No, everyone doesn't have to get
shots when they go out.
No, it's just me because I'm compromised.
Okay, so where do we get
compromised out there? Make sure you get your shots.
Where do we get a hold of you for the travel then? Same channel, same through Facebook, Instagram?
You get Instagram. I have a website for my travel.
So what's that website?
It's Adreanna Pacini at IntelliTravel.com.
Okay, so we got a website for the skinny coffee and a website for the travel.
Yeah, so you want to get skinny, you want to travel.
You want to get skinny and then travel. I mean, that's how it goes, right?
You get skinny, travel. So you get married, you get skinny for your wedding. Then I book your honeymoon,
and then I train you and I help keeping the skinniness go.
Mm-hmm. I'll meet you at the gym.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. I love how you've been through everything. I think next you got to write a book.
I've heard that. I will one day. When God leads me that way, I'll just listen.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for having me. Mm-hmm.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here. Oh, I must confess, dear. Don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do. And there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were
It's